Welcome to Sparkle Nomad, your ultimate guide to exploring the world with a touch of sparkle. Imagine a country where the buzz of life is as constant as the honking of scooters, where the street food is so good you'll want to eat your way from north to south, and where crossing the street is an extreme sport that could rival the best action movies. We're about to transport you to a place where the energy is as vibrant as the colors of the lantern-lit streets, where motorbikes outnumber cars, and where every meal is a culinary adventure waiting to happen, Vietnam. Number 10. Ben Thanh Market. Ben Thanh Market is one of Ho Chi Minh City's most iconic landmarks. Ben Thanh Market is where tradition meets modernity, making it a must-visit for anyone exploring the south of Vietnam. It's the perfect spot to immerse yourself in the local culture and try some delicious Vietnamese street food. Number 9. The Imperial City. The Imperial City was the political, cultural, and religious center of the Nguyen dynasty from the early 19th century until 1945. Let's start our royal tour by entering the Imperial Enclosure, the heart of the Imperial City. To get in, you'll pass through the Grand Gate, the main entrance reserved for the Emperor himself. Though today, they're making an exception for us commoners. Inside, you'll find the Tai Hoa Palace, where the Emperor held court. This palace is a masterpiece of Vietnamese architecture, with intricately carved pillars, lacquered wood, and a roof that seems to float on air. What would an imperial city be without some impressive tombs? The most famous is the tomb of Emperor Tu Duc, which is more of a mini palace than a tomb. Tu Duc was so meticulous about his afterlife that he designed it himself. While the imperial city takes you back in time, the modern-day city of central Vietnam is a vibrant mix of old and new. Take a boat ride down the Perfume River. As you float along, you'll see the city's famous pagodas, temples, and bridges, each telling its own story. Remember to sample some of the city's famous cuisine, which is known for its imperial flair and spicy kick. Number 8. Hoi An Ancient Town. Did you know that traffic lights are often more of a suggestion than a strict rule in Vietnam? Picture this. You're standing at a bustling intersection in Hoi An, the light turns red, and yet, scooters, bikes, and even the occasional adventurous pedestrian keep zooming by like they're part of some synchronized dance routine. It's as if they've collectively decided that stopping is optional and timing is everything. Crossing the street in Vietnam is like playing a game of Frogger with more honking and thrill. Hoi An, known as the Venice of Vietnam, is a UNESCO World Heritage Site that dates back to the 15th century. No trip to Hoi An is complete without a leisurely boat ride along the Tu Bon River. This river was once the lifeblood of Hoi An's trading activities, and today, it's the perfect place to unwind and soak in the town's tranquil beauty. Number 7. My Son Sanctuary. My Son Sanctuary is often called the Angkor Wat of Vietnam. It was once the religious and political capital of the Champa Kingdom. The ruins are also surrounded by lush jungle, adding to their mystique and allure. As you explore the ruins, you'll find yourself surrounded by dense foliage, with the sounds of birds and insects filling the air. The best time to visit is early morning, when the light is soft, and the crowds are minimal. Number 6. Hanoi's Old Quarter. The Old Quarter is the heart and soul of Vietnam's capital. This area dates back 1,000 years, and the city's past and present come together in a delightful blend of chaos and charm. Let's take a breather from the bustling streets and head to one of the Old Quarter's most tranquil spots, Lake of the Returned Sword. As the legend goes, during the 15th century, the gods gave a Vietnamese emperor a magical sword, a powerful weapon that helped him drive out the invading Ming army. After the victory, while the emperor was leisurely taking a boat ride on the lake, a giant golden turtle surfaced and asked the emperor to return the magical sword. The emperor then returned the sword to the turtle. Since then, the lake has been known as the Lake of the Returned Sword, and the turtle has become a symbol of peace and divine protection. Turtle Tower is a small and weathered structure on an islet in the middle of the lake. No one is quite sure why it was built, but it's a lovely architectural mystery that adds to the lake's charm. In the middle of the lake sits the Temple of the Jade Mountain, connected to the shore by a bright red bridge that's as picturesque as it gets. Number 5. Key Bang National Park. Imagine a land of ancient caves, underground rivers, and limestone mountains so dramatic they could be the backdrop for the next epic movie. Key Bang National Park is a UNESCO World Heritage Site and is home to some of the world's largest caves, filled with stunning stalactites and underground rivers. Today, we're venturing into a place that's so epic, it makes most caves look like mere potholes in comparison. Sun Doong Cave in Vietnam. Sun Doong isn't just any cave. It's the largest cave in the world, big enough to fit an entire New York City block inside. Discovered only in the early 1990s and opened to tourists in 2013, Sun Doong is still one of Earth's most remote and untouched places. Sun Doong, which means Mountain River Cave, was formed millions of years ago. Inside, you'll find a whole other world with its own jungle, river, and even clouds. It's a bucket list destination for serious adventurers, but be warned, it's not for the faint of heart. Number 4. The Mekong Delta. The Mekong Delta is a vast network of southwestern Vietnam rivers, swamps, and islands. This region is one of the most fertile areas in the world, producing more than half of Vietnam's rice, hence the nickname, Rice Bowl of Vietnam. Let's dive into one of the Mekong Delta's most iconic experiences, the floating markets. Imagine your local farmer's market, but instead of stalls, you've got boats bobbing up and down on the river, each overflowing with fresh produce, flowers, and a fair bit of chaos. A visit to the Mekong Delta wouldn't be complete without sampling these fruits fresh from the orchard. Number 3. The Marble Mountains. The Marble Mountains are a cluster of 5 marble and limestone hills named after one of the 5 elements: metal, wood, water, fire, and earth. These mountains have long been a place of worship and pilgrimage, attracting locals and travelers alike with their natural beauty and spiritual significance. Legend has it that the mountains were formed from the fragments of a dragon egg that washed ashore, giving them an air of ancient mystique. Number 2. Ha Long Bay. Ha Long Bay is a UNESCO World Heritage Site in northern Vietnam. Legend has it that the bay was formed when a dragon descended from the heavens, swishing its tail and carving out valleys and crevices that were then flooded by the sea. Whether you're a believer in mythical dragons or just a fan of jaw-dropping scenery, Ha Long Bay is a place that will leave you spellbound. Let's start our adventure with the classic way to explore Ha Long Bay, a boat cruise. You'll find various options, from luxurious cruises with all the bells and whistles to traditional wooden junks that offer a more authentic experience. But the magic of Ha Long Bay isn't just above water, it's below it, too. The bay has several incredible caves and caverns waiting to be explored. One of the most famous is Surprise Cave. The cave is so large and otherworldly that it feels like you've entered an underground palace. Number 1. The Temples of Ninh Binh. This region is famous for its dramatic karst landscapes, tranquil rivers, and centuries-old cultural heritage. The Trang An Cave complex is often described as Ha Long Bay on land, for its stunning limestone karsts and serene waterways. Archaeologists have found ancient burial sites in the area, with human remains dating back thousands of years from the early human civilization. Bai Dinh Pagoda is the largest pagoda complex in Vietnam. It is a labyrinth of temples, halls, and towers spread over 700 hectares. The complex is home to some of Southeast Asia's most giant Buddhist statues, including a 100-ton bronze Buddha that's hard to miss. Let's step back in time to Hoa Lu, the ancient capital of Vietnam more than 1,000 years ago, during the Dinh and early La dynasties. This site is home to the temples of King Dinh Tien Hoang and King La Dai Han, two of Vietnam's most important historical figures. Dinh Tien Hoang Temple is built in honor of Emperor Dinh Tien Hoang, the first emperor of Vietnam after its independence from China. La Dai Han Temple is dedicated to Emperor La Dai Han, who succeeded Dinh Tien Hoang and continued to strengthen the fledgling nation. And there you have it. If you enjoyed this journey, hit that subscribe button and join our Nomad family. Share your favorite travel moment or suggest our next destination in the comments below. Turn on notifications so you never miss our latest travel tips, inspiring stories, and hidden gems. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.